Peace, love, and light, my G's. This is Poseidon of Deep Astrology. Hello, good morning, good noonday, good night, and welcome to High Flights, y'all. This is High Vibes, High Vibe channel. We're gonna get into this read right now. So this is Moonvibes, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to this Pisces moon transit. We got the moon going through Pisces right now. You know, it's at 11 degrees. I'm coming at this a little bit later than I wanted to. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but time got away from me. And I think that's a lot of what we'll see with this moon in Pisces transit, you know, with this transit going through the watery sign of Pisces, the mutable water. You know, we're coming into this cocooned like state, you know, emotionally. They're this cocoon like state, you know, we are becoming more emotionally, you know, sensitive and kind of picking up on our psychic cues more easily, picking up on more synchronicities, picking up on divinity, messages, a lot more psychic intuitive abilities whenever the moon is in Pisces, and always an opportunity to really step into the depth of our psychology and, you know, be more romantic. You know, we want to be more romantic during this time. We want to express our ideals. We want to react and nurture our ideals during a moon transit through Pisces. You know, our dreams, our illusions, you know, our artistic nature, our creative nature really becomes more potent, you know, and more of an attention is on that. So let's go ahead and get a read for this moon transit just to see what messages that spirit may have for you guys. Definitely will have some messages while the moon is moving through Pisces, the mutable water sign, and Neptune is retrograde there as well in its home sign. So that's some other news. That's going to be very clarifying. That's going to be an opportunity to really get things clear and to really reconnect with the self, reconnect with the soul, and do a soul purging. You know, this is really about a soul purging, and it's about us coming into full alignment with ourselves in the future, and having a navigation system. You know, fine tuning our navigation system, our perspective. So first card out for the Pisces moon's transit is Mother of Swords. So keep in mind that the moon will be transiting into Aries tomorrow, the 24th, at about the middle of the day, whether Eastern Pacific time. It will transit into Aries as of Monday tomorrow. So we'll be starting the week off Monday with a very subtle activation. Then we have Seven of Cups coming out for the Pisces moon transit. Okay. And then we have the Mother of Wands, okay? Okay. So what this tells me is that there is an emotional navigation system that we are building. We are building into and seeing into the illusion. You know, we are seeing into different facets of the truth. You know, we're coming into this more honed in space. You know, there's this feeling of being more improved, you know, and based off of perception. This is all going to be based around your perception, though, individualistic perception, and your awareness. You know, your awareness this next day or so coming into the 24th. There's going to be I'm hearing concern. There's going to be a specific need. I'm hearing a specific need. You know, we want to remain. There's this feeling of remaining compliably concerned. So almost this theme of surrender. You know, when we're dealing with the moon going through Pisces, we're always talking about surrender. It's about surrendering to the moment, surrendering your willpower, surrendering to the realm of spirit. But it looks to me that with this moon transit, we got the mother of swords. So this is all about the mind and our perception, our awareness, what we know. And I'm hearing it even as what we know as opposed to what we see. So there's this rational expression coming forth, very, very rational expression with the mother of swords. Libra, Aquarius. So what this means is our mind, needs to be able to penetrate the illusions, because with the Seven of Cups, there are certain illusions coming in, opportunities, and I'm hearing even consequences, even perceived consequences. There's this move or this feeling of how you perceive a certain outcome or perceive a certain consequence, or how you, it's like almost, because Neptune is retrograde. So with Neptune going retrograde and the moon, which is our emotional body, moving through this water sign, this watery vacuum, almost, this watery holding place, because Pisces really is like an incubator. It is the holding place for, the fetal old person stage, into those last wisping moments of life, right? And then there is the baby, who is helpless, who needs, Pisces is like that old soul, baby stage where the rebirth and even like the realignment, you can even say realignment. Like I feel like this moon transit through Pisces is really, really, really about a realignment of values and a realignment of our sensible nature. We're really like, yesterday was a very, very, very spiritually sensitive day for me. Like I was very, very tuning into just a lot of the collective, you could even just say unrest, but even within my own home life, you just, so much within my home life is being cleared away and bubbling to the surface, So, it's really about having this emotional navigation system, being able to navigate through frequencies. This is what the Seven of Cups means to me, is being able to navigate through the different frequencies and vibrations, and even coming into a state of completeness, and with your awareness, there is the potential for your capabilities and your perception to heighten, your perception to even sharpen, because you think, we have the moon going through Pisces right now, but we also have Mercury, which really is about, the planet that functions as our mobility, our ability to think, communicate, sell and trade, and, come up with different marketing schemes. That's a lot of what Mercury connects us to, is connecting us to, being good talkers and learning how to use those gift of gab and advertising skills. It rules Gemini and Virgo, So that whole animatronic technological function of, how to communicate something, how to even improve something, how to master something, masterfully, artfully weave things in and out and connect, and just that whole computerized function that we're working through. We are really, really, really working to clear away our perceptions. And I say this, I mentioned Mercury because Mercury is in a water sign right now. Mercury is in Cancer. And so with Mercury being in Cancer, which is about our watery perception, our inner world, our inner realm, inner dimension, inner security. Mercury is in Cancer. Mercury is being flushed right now. Mercury is like our magnifying glass right now, being cleaned up and being sprayed. It's like oil sheen being, or you wouldn't put oil sheen on a magnifying glass, but it's like the magnifying glass is being polished. Cancer is a sign of the home. We have the moon, which rules Cancer, in the sign of Pisces right now. So there's a lot of emotions. Like we have Mars and Mercury in Cancer right now. So that's our new direction, our drive, our attention, our force, our direction, all those things, our sexuality, our creativity is being fused You know, we're being forced to really work with this energy to alchemize and create new intentions, you know, create a new sense of self. We are going towards a new sense of self, you know, right now. So Mother of Swords, very, very Libra energy, even Aquarius, but more so Libra. And then we have the Mother of Wands, which is all about the inner confidence, you know, the inner confidence that we're nurturing, the inner, even the inner responsibility. I'm hearing the inner responsibility. You know, you could feel like you have a lot of ideas right now. You could feel like you have a lot of, you know, you're cooking rice right now. You feel like you have rice bubbling to the surface. You got this meal that you're prepping. You know, there is this, even almost this feeling of angst, you know what I'm saying? Or this feeling of, you know, protection, you know, needing to protect, you know what I'm saying? What it is that you have, you know, what it is that you are cooking up, you know. It's almost even this level of action and purity, you know, that is rising up. It's almost this very, very quiet, childlike innocence, like this new dream almost is forming in our bellies and in our guts. You know, so this is what I wanted to say about this Pisces moon transit. And, you know, I would just say I'm hearing steer clear of certain roadways, you know, do something different. Moon is moving through Pisces. This is a time to do things differently. You know, do something completely different. Start a new routine, start a new hobby. You know, I'm hearing check statements, you know, this is a time where our emotional body is being I'm seeing in my head like the what do you like a not a laser beam but like a light scanner. I'm seeing like a scanner through our whole bodies. That is what the moon in Pisces is like. It's like scanning our whole bodies, you know, so that we could come out into this more crystallized, more shapen, more whole, more satisfaction, more emotional satisfaction. It's this feeling in of the moon in Pisces is this move of coming into more whole emotional satisfaction. Because I think a lot of us need it. You know, before anything, we need emotional satisfaction. We need our minds to be able to see where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So this moon in Pisces is going to challenge us. It's going to challenge us to look at things in a different way. It's going to challenge our own perceptions and how we navigate through frequencies, how we navigate through change, how we navigate through illusion, how we navigate through, you know, the illusion of separation, you know, how we navigate through boundless consciousness, you know. The Mother of Wands, this is letting me know that there's this feeling of being prepared, you know, preparation. You know, there's this preparation stage. It's almost like we're having to really just ride this spiritual wave. We're having to ride the wave of spirit. You know, spirit, the divine, is working something out, throwing something our way. It's almost like the divine right now, this weekend, is throwing us a ball and we're batters up right now. Like we're batter up. Like the divine is throwing us some monkey wrenches, but we're having to utilize it. That's what it feels like to me. The divine is working, you know, working something out, which the divine always is. But, you know, it really, really is for our good. Like, I feel like the divine right now, like, for any of you this past week or this past weekend, I feel like you're being tested, or you feel like, you know, things are not going your way, or things are like things are not, wow. Father of Wands is coming out. Father of Wands is coming out. So what this is telling me is that we are moving towards more emotional maturity. Yeah, we're moving towards more emotional maturity. Emotional maturity, and into a state of guided awareness, even guided protection. I'm hearing. There's this kind of deep soul exploration, with the moon traveling through Pisces right now. There is this deep soul exploration that is going to, I'm hearing tally. It's going to tally, almost like, when people are in prisons or in jails and like you see them tallying, writing like the, counting down the days. They write the what do they call them? They're not Roman numerals, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth line for the 5, they put a line, a horizontal line through it. That's kind of what I'm feeling into. Even third eye activation, I'm feeling, intense third eye activation, and it's almost like this feeling of peeking behind the glass, peeking behind the mirror. This feeling of like very like psychic awareness, like many people this weekend may feel like, they're becoming more psychically in tuned. That they are more spiritually. Like I feel like by the end of, because today is Sunday, I feel like by the end of this day, I feel like by Monday, by tomorrow, people are gonna feel this spiritual move. Like people are gonna even feel like this presence in their lives. For some of you here watching, if this is resonating, if not, then take it for what it is. This very spiritual resonance, like this new spiritual, almost like this call, like, that it feels like there's this call to just be more driven and not like to be more emotionally mature, but be more purposefully driven. Okay? Because see, the Mother of Wands and the Father of Wands, they got purpose. There's a purpose here. And I'm also tapping into divine union as well. 10 of Swords. We're ending some storylines. We're putting some storylines to bed. We're putting certain, I'm hearing even certain checkpoints. Certain places, certain mental headspaces that you stayed in too long. This is being unveiled. You know what I'm saying? This is being, like there are certain mental perceptions, certain storylines, certain psychological heaviness, certain psychological spaces that, you have been in, that some of you have been in, that some of us has been in, that we are ending. Like we're putting an ending to a lot of the psychological unrest this weekend, okay? And we're taking, very, 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 very solid even steps, to go somewhere. Like there's very solid outcomes, that we're manifesting. We are manifesting a vision. We're manifesting a spiritual move. It feels like we're manifesting a new vision. That's what it is. We're manifesting a new vision for this Pisces moon transit. So thank y'all for stopping in and tuning in to this psychic read for the Pisces moon transit. I will be back tomorrow for the transit through Aries, the moon through Aries. I do love doing these transits, these moon transits for everyone. These are fun for me. I love talking about the moon and its transit and just giving the moon the type of appraisal and the worship that it needs, really, really, really being there for Mother. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Peace, love, and light. High flights, and I'll see y'all on the next flight. All right.